Andrew, we talk about everything that goes on with our football team, but ultimately it's my decision. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, do you have any updates on the injured guys yesterday?
Kind of still getting back stuff from MRIs right now. Scott, anybody in particular?
How about David and Ethan?
Nothing new to report there on either guy. We'll see.
Okay, and Deshaun talked about trying to run the ball and how you have to do that against two high safeties, and you're seeing a bunch of that. So why do you think that's been a problem to be able to establish that run game?
Yeah, again, I think it's multifaceted, and I think we can certainly give the guys a plan to put them in position to make some yards versus those shell looks, like you mentioned, Scott. But it's not one thing, it's not one player, it's not one scheme. We got to go execute and feel, and we have to give the guys something they can execute at a high level. And I'm going to work hard at that this week, so those guys can play fast on Sunday.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, the disorganization on offense is really hard to miss, especially in that third quarter sequence there. Just what changes are you considering to get this offense going and on track?
Yeah, I think we have to look at everything, Daryl, how we put it together. Really just take a long, hard look at what we're doing. And again, I think it goes back to any success on offense comes from giving the guys a plan that they can go execute at a high level. I believe in the coaches we have. I believe in the players we have, and we will get it fixed together.
And, I certainly understand we talk about it. It's just not one singular player or person or whatever. The supporting cast around Deshaun, blocking, catching passes, being where they're supposed to be on the field, when they're supposed to be there, and things like that. How do you clean those things up when you're 5 weeks into the season and the issue seems to be a repetitive one?
Yeah, I think I understand your question, but for us, we really just focus on week to week what we feel like we can do better. I know that the guys are working hard. I know that we can give them concepts that they can operate at a high level, those type of things. But it's a constant thing in the NFL, making sure that your guys are in position to go make plays, and we'll work at that this week.
All right, next we go to Daniel.
Hey Kevin, good afternoon. I know you said that and asked about the decision to stick with Deshaun as the starting quarterback. You mentioned that you obviously have conversations with Andrew Berry, but it ultimately comes down to you. I was curious. I mean, in the midst of deciding to stick with Deshaun, do you have conversations with the Haslam's, with Jimmy? Are they involved with these conversations, or is it just the football operations in terms of you and Andrew?
Yeah, as you can imagine, Daniel, I talked to Andrew, I talked to ownership about our football team, but again, I want to continue to reinforce we have to play better as a football team. I know we have to play better on offense. I need to do my part to make sure that we're playing better on offense, but this is a football team. This is the greatest team sport there is, and we have to play better as a football team.
So to confirm, ownership isn't having a say in, whether Deshaun is still sticking as starting quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't get into all the specifics. I think you guys know that we make great decisions together. I obviously talk to Andrew about everything we do. We talk to ownership about everything we do. That's just how we operate.
Thank you.
All right, next we go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just in the interest of just shaking things up and trying something different, would you consider turning the play calling over to Ken Dorsey?
I think there's a bunch of different things, Mary Kay, that we want to look at and see how we're doing from a operations standpoint on offense. I think Ken's been an outstanding partner in all of this. So those are the type of things that I will always look at. But really, it just gets back to making sure that we're putting our guys in position is what we'll look at ultimately.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Cam.
Hey, Kevin, I know, earlier in the season, you guys weren't going to use injuries as any kind of excuse or to any of your production on the field. But to this point in the season, with the way the offensive line is shaken out and how guys have gone down, do you feel as though there has been some hindrance on the offense, especially of what you guys have been trying to install and implement and what we've been able to see?
Yeah, I understand the question, Cam, but we believe in the guys we have in there. Injuries are a part of this game. I think if you look at every team, they're dealing with injuries. So we're certainly not using it as an excuse for anything.
Do you feel as though there is a lot more that you guys have worked to install through the off season that is yet to be seen in game day?
Yeah, I don't know that that's fair to characterize it like that. We'll just always go into these games trying to understand who's available to us, what kind of plan can we put together with the guys who are available to us, and being able to pivot during the week, because sometimes you have to wait till Friday or Saturday to know which guys will be out there, and that's just part of how we operate.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go back to Scott.
Kevin, Deshaun talked about figuring out what you guys were good at, and leaning. So have you been able to identify maybe some core things that you're able to lean into?
Well, again, until we sustain drives, score points, you're constantly trying to lean into things that you feel like your guys can do. We're working hard at that. These guys understand that this is a process. We'll work at this week, understanding what matches up versus the Eagles, obviously, because that factors into when you're putting these game plans together. But certainly, you want to be able to hang your hat on offense in the run game, in the pass game, that you feel confident that your guys can execute.
And then a couple of those injury guys. Denzel, any update on him?
No update yet.
And do you know if you're going to get any of the guys that you put on IR after week one? Juan, Tony, Mahmoud, Mo?
Yeah, I would say it's day to day. I'll have a better feel for that going in tomorrow and obviously going into Wednesday.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next we'll go back to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, I feel I need to ask you this. The results being what they are with this new offense that's been incorporated this year, why can't you go back to what was successful last year? I'm talking like pre-Joe Flacco, the first part of the season with Deshaun. Why can't you just go back to that? It seems like you were more successful or had some success running that versus what you're trying to accomplish right now with this current offense.
Yeah, I understand the question, Daryl, and obviously we need to play better. We need to coach better. We're not getting the results we want as a team, certainly as an offense. So we look at everything in terms of what we're doing. I don't know that it's fair just to say, well, this is new or that's old. Like, we don't necessarily look at it through that lens, other than to say we want to have a productive offense. We want to score points. We want to help this football team. So we look at everything when it comes to putting our guys in position to succeed.
And I want to ask you about the defense real quick. They did make some plays yesterday. Are you at all concerned that even though players after the game talked about, hey, we just have to worry about our side of the ball and do our jobs, but are you worried about any negative carryover from what's going on with the offense maybe impacting those guys?
Yeah, I understand that question. I think with our locker room, with the people we have in this building, we understand that everybody has a role to play when you're trying to win on Sunday. Like I mentioned before, it's the offense, it's the defense, it's the special teams together. So we win as a team, we lose as a team. That's just how we operate.
All right, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, when you talk about that Deshaun, like everyone else, can do some things better, at times it looks like he's got no chance, but does he need to see the field better? Does he need to get the ball out quicker against a blitz? I mean, what kinds of things can he do himself?
Yeah, I wouldn't get into specifics necessarily, Mary Kay, but I would just tell you he's committed to getting better for this offense, just like myself and the coaches are committed to giving our guys stuff that they can go execute at a high level. I know on offense, a lot gets made of the quarterback play. Certainly understand that. But we look at this as what can our entire offense do better? And it really starts with me. It starts with our coaches, making sure that these guys are in position to succeed.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Coach. Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll have Greg Newsome and Jordan Akins here for you guys shortly. Keep you posted on when they're on their way. All right, we actually have Jordan Akins here now. So if you guys want to raise your hand with questions, we'll get started. All right, everyone, we have Jordan. We will start taking questions. The first one will go to Cam.
Jordan, it feels like on the offense, especially, there's been a lot of miscommunications, and you guys have said that you guys have shot yourselves in the foot a lot. For you as a player, what does it look like cleaning that up, and how do you get on the same page communication wise to make sure that this doesn't continue to spiral and continue the way that it's going?
Just pre-snap penalties, controlling what we can control, executing the plays that are called as well. And as far as just the small things, man, lining up right, executing the plays, and just, moving the ball as an offense.
Does it feel that you guys do have a good grasp of what you want to do offensively and it's just not happening? Or is there more for you guys to dig into and truly understand it to make it a pure execution?
I feel like we're just lacking execution. You know, one play can determine what happens with the offense. And, I just feel like we just need to go back to the drawing board and, come together and execute when our numbers call, make the plays, and we got to block better. We just got to be better overall as offense.
Thanks, Jordan.
All right, next we go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Jordan, you've known Deshaun for a long time. You've seen him play a lot of ball. I'm just wondering, Kevin last night said, I'm not making a change at quarterback. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you feel like Deshaun has been operating and what needs to go better for, I guess, everybody?
For one, we got to do better protecting him. No quarterback's going to do well and being sacked multiple times. We have to make plays. There's been some drops as well. Can't just put the whole thing on Deshaun. We do have some plays that we wish we can take back, but as an offense, I've been with Deshaun a long time, and being with Deshaun, I know the play's not dead. So, if we can just buy him a little more time and let him create plays and get that ball in the air, we just got to be better all over. Just come down with catches and make plays with our legs as well.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Daryl.
Yeah, Jordan, just from the outside looking in, it just looks like this offense right now is completely broken, whether from protection all the way through like the passing game. So could you, I don't know, maybe just explain a little bit why, what's been so difficult getting this going here and why things aren't as broken as maybe they appear to be?
On that tip, all I can say is that we do have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of young players stepping up in roles, and I just feel like we're not executing. At the end of the day, we're just not executing. Like I say, we gotta protect our quarterback. We have to run the ball. We have to catch the ball. We just have to play football, good football, complementary football. Our defense doing well. Our special teams is doing pretty good. And we just got to complement that. We got to come in and do our job as well, So it's just not one person. There's no calling nobody out. There's no singling nobody out. As a team, as an offense, we have to do better.
And the concepts that Ken Dorsey and Kevin are running, are these concepts that you were familiar with in your previous time with Deshaun, or is this been something new for you as well?
Some's new, some is Houston. I think, we're slowly getting there, but for the most part, this is Cleveland ball. And, we just trying to surround Deshaun with playmakers that make plays for him. So, that's all I have to say on that.
All right, next go to Ashley.
Hey, Jordan, just I guess overall with the offensive struggles, and you look at how you guys are having issues even moving the ball yesterday, just what do you think gives you guys hope that even though things have been rough through these first 5 games, that you can try and turn it around and be more productive as a group?
I say I'll fight. We never give up. We come together. Like at the end of the game, we put some drops together. Finally got a touchdown, and we just got to execute in the red zone more, third downs more, especially early downs, so we don't beat those tough situations on third downs. It's like I say, it's the small things. I
I think once we fix those small things, this offense would definitely get rolling.
Do you think that's the key? I mean, I know the third down numbers for you guys have not been great. They were bad yesterday again, but what you said there, is it just important to get more yards on first and second down for you guys right now? Do you think that's your biggest challenge as an offense with converting on those third downs?
Of course, positive yards, they keep you out of tough situations. So if we can put together some big plays first, second down, they keep us out of tough situations. And especially when we get to third down, it'll get us in better manageable situations. Instead of third and long, we'll be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 5. They're just basic ball and things that we have to turn around and execute.
All right, next we'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Jordan, when you see Deshaun getting blitzed as much as he's getting blitzed and sacked on those blitzes and the stunts and the games and different things like that that are going on, is there anything more that he can do? I don't know. Can he get rid of the ball quicker, or do you guys have to have more outlets for him? What can you guys do in the face of what teams are throwing at you?
In that case, we can do more video study. Um, we can have answers for certain blitzes and stunts that we do see. Um, we just at the end of the day, we have to come together as an offense. We definitely need to put together some things as far as protection wise for Deshaun, and just let him be Deshaun, make plays and play freely. Not timid. So at the end of the day, we just got to do our part and put everyone in a situation to win.
Thank you.
All right, last call for questions for Jordan. All right, thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it. We'll have Greg Newsome here shortly. All right, everyone, Greg Newsome is on his way. If you guys want to get questions prepared.
Oh, that hair look good. I bet we good.
All right, everyone, we have Greg here. If you guys want to get your questions ready. All right, first question will go to Scott.
Hey, Greg, how do you stay optimistic when it looked as bad as it did yesterday and you guys are 1-4?
Because it's a long season. 1-4, there's been teams that, make the playoffs going 1-4. Also, we're brothers. We're brotherhood. We know what talent we got. We know how hard we work. So, at the end of the day, as long as we continue to keep our head down, keep working, we know change will be made on that field soon. So we just got to continue to work.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Greg, just wondering about you guys having to watch Denzel leave that game with a hamstring injury. How much does it hurt you guys to have to lose your number one cornerback that like that in a game? And how much are you hoping that he can get back for this Philly game?
First, the hope, obviously we love him back, but the hope is just that he's healthy. I hope that, he gets 100% and this doesn't, hurt him for the rest of the season. But obviously it hurts to lose a guy like that. Like I said, that's a guy that's irreplaceable. He's the best cornerback in the NFL. So losing a guy like that's hard, but, we work our tails off. We got guys that are ready, to step in that role if need be. It's not going to be one guy that, fills the role of a Denzel Ward, but, we got a lot of guys that will be able to get the job done.
Thank you.
Next we go to Ashley.
Hey, Greg, I know like Miles mentioned today that you guys as players are kind of like always talking and trying to talk out your problems, but he made the comment that like the time for talk is basically done. People have to go out there and do their jobs now. So I guess is that like an overall sentiment with you guys as a defense? Like, is it almost to the point that there's nothing left to say in those kind of internal conversations?
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's just more so what we are saying, we have to apply it on the field. So I think there's definitely still a little chatter. Like it's not going to be a lot, but at the end of the day, what we say, there has to be actions behind your words. So I think that's kind of our mindset now. It's not a lot to say anymore, but at the end of the day, we got to go out there and everybody got to do their 111 to try to get this team, off this losing streak.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Greg? All right, we'll go back to Scott.
Hey, Greg, there were still some missed tackles yesterday. Why do you think that's still an issue?
I wouldn't consider it an issue. It's the NFL. We're gonna miss tackles. Like I said, what you try to do is minimize those tackles, and what you try to do is kind of get the other guys running to the ball. Like I got to do a better job at running to the ball because at the end of the day, you're gonna miss some tackles. Like those guys get paid a lot of money, and a lot of those running backs and receivers are very shifty. So at the end of the day, it's yes, the missed tackle is bad, but it's more so the guys running to the ball to, nullify the extra yards after a missed tackle. So I think that's kind of our focus. Like obviously we can tackle better one-on-one, but we got to find a way to get guys to the party so that if he does cut or something that we're hitting him right on contact after.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Greg, you guys haven't even really necessarily gotten into you haven't gotten into your division games yet. You haven't seen Lamar, you haven't seen Joe, you haven't gotten anywhere near that grueling stretch at the end. And yet the defense is struggling with some teams that you guys, really should have beaten. So how do you regroup and make sure that you guys start to look more like the #1 defense that you were last year?
Yeah, just continue to work hard. Like I said, I think at times we are playing unbelievable ball. What it comes down to is eliminating some of those explosives, some of those big plays. So, that's our job, is try to eliminate explosives. The stats kind of are skewed when it comes to that. Like if we can find a way to get some of those big plays out, then it'll start looking good. We're finally starting to get some turnovers and things like that. But at the end of the day, we just got to continue to work hard, continue to trust in each other. And I think, when it's time, obviously we're focused on this next opponent right now. And at the end of the day, it's the NFL. Everyone's great. The Giants are a great team. The Raiders, why? Because it's the NFL. Anybody can win. So we just got to find a way to make those key plays when it comes to us.
And it looks like maybe Martin isn't off to the start that he wanted to have this year. And it looks like he might have some room for improvement. Do you have any idea how is Martin handling that, or what do you think is kind of going on with Martin right now?
I think he's not playing. He's not playing poor to my eyes. I think he's a warrior. He's one of the best cornerbacks in this league. And at the end of the day, like I said, those guys get paid too. And a lot of the things, it's not just Martin. It's me, Ward, Cam. We're all not playing to our standard, not just him. So at the end of the day, we all got things to improve on. And we're trying to do that each day. So I just feel like as a collective, not just Martin, me, Ward, MJ, Miles, like everybody, we all can play better, because at the end of the day, we need everybody to win. So I think everybody has room for improvement.
Thank you.
All right, last call for questions.